Well, well, well. How's it going, guys? This is the Jered Bear. My good faithful YouTube viewers and listeners, it has been quite a while since I've recorded a daily rant. It's great to be back. I've been feeling a bit under the weather, but I'm starting to feel a lot better now. And I figured I would come on here and do a daily rant. It's actually after 5 o'clock in the morning. Today's date is Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. The first official day of fall, winter. The first official day of winter. And that begins at 10:58 this morning. No, we're getting out of fall, coming into winter. Okay, got it. Make sure I get that right. Anyway, I hope you've all been doing well. Yeah, it's been a while since I've recorded a daily rant. Not about a particular person this time around, shockingly enough, although there will be other days and other daily rants, and I'll get to those people. And I'll give them the public embarrassment and vitriol that they so very much deserve. But in today's daily rant, I'm going to talk about marriage and why I'm glad I never got fucking married. Yeah, I'm 35 years old, never been married a day in my life. I don't have a girlfriend, don't have kids, of course. It's been nice. It's been awesome. I love being by myself. However, I've noticed what marriage is doing to my female friends in particular, people who used to be my friends. For whatever reason, they decided to stop speaking to me because, well, I got married. It's about money now. It's goodbye, Jered time. Go fuck off, whatever. So that's what I want to talk about in today's daily rant, is marriage. There are lots of friends, I've got lots of female friends in my circle of friends, okay? Lots of female friends. Most of them are married. They've got families of their own children. And then there are those who, women who are just in relationships with partners. And then there are the single women. I've got friends in my circle, female friends, who are of each of those walks of life. They're either married, they're just in relationships, or they're single. But my focus is basically on the married women. It's happened a few times, not a lot, because most of the female friends I have in my circle, they are mature enough to maintain healthy friendships with their single male friends, to the point where their husbands aren't insecure, and they don't start asking questions about, oh, what are you talking about with him, and what are you saying to him, and what are y'all talking about, when I'm not around, that kind of thing. Well, I have always had deep, meaningful conversations with the friends I've had who just so happen to be female. Whether they're married or they're just in relationships or they're single, makes not one bit of difference. I've had lots of awesome, wonderful conversations, deep conversations with women throughout the years. And this has only ever happened to a handful of people, preferably women, where once they get married, oh, Jered's out the picture. And that's what I want to rant about today. So to women out there listening to this, and if you were friends with me and then decidedly cut off communication with me because you got married, or because you're engaged to be married, or you're in a relationship with someone, just keep fucking right off into the sunset, because I don't need immature females in my circle of friends. Especially when through all the years that we've had conversations, you never perceived me as a threat. We never talked sex, and even if we did talk sex, you didn't view me as a threat. You didn't perceive me as someone who was actually going to try to put the moves on you. Really, just fuck off. Now suddenly you get married, you marry into money, and I'm just a piece of shit now because you married into money, and can't have Jered as a friend anymore because my insecure man-child of a partner or husband, whatever, is going to be really, 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 really mad at me, and he'll take my fat bank account away if he finds out that I'm still talking to you. What the fuck is up with that? And really, what the fuck is up with that? I have never known a more immature group of women to actually cut off communication with someone just because they got married or because they got a boyfriend or whatever the case may be. Partner, whatever. I mean, that right off the bat, that should be an instant red flag for you. You're not allowed to have friends when you get married. Marriage changes people. Marriage absolutely fucking changes people. Which is why I'm glad I never got caught up into that fucking trap. I call marriage contractual slavery. I know there's a lot of you out there listening to this and you may not agree and you might think, well, Jesus, Jered, marriage isn't all that bad. Well, let me tell you something. I love my independence. I love the fact that I don't have to bow down to a partner and I have to walk on eggshells just to make a partner happy. I make myself happy. Everything I own is mine. I don't have to share it with anybody. I am content being by myself. I don't have that anxiety of, well, if I talk to this girl, my old lady's going to get pissed off. She's going to end up leaving me. She's going to ditch me, or she's going to get so upset with me that she's going to pack her shit and leave. Well, even if it were the case where I do get in a relationship, and I talk to women. There's a few women I talk to. But if it ever came down to where I actually did get in a relationship with one of these women, and they told me I would have to sacrifice my years of healthy relationships that I've developed with women, that's not going to fucking happen. Sorry. That's that's no bueno. No fucking bueno. The friendships that I have are my friendships. I've built upon these friendships over the years. That's why I've earned the trust of so many women who are now my friends, and I consider them very dear friends of mine. I'm not willing to throw those friendships away just because someone comes into my life and tries to take control of my life and tell me who I can and can't be friends with. Fuck you and your insecurities. That's not going to happen. And by the way, I call marriage contractual slavery because, to me, once a woman, and I'm not saying this about all women, but basically the gold diggers, once they get a hold of you, they whip you into shape, so to speak, they've got you right where they want you. And the minute something doesn't go right in their favor, this contractual slavery, this piece of paper, marriage, basically says, I own you, and if you fuck up, if you step out of line, I'm going to take half of your shit. I'm going to own half of your shit. And I can leave anytime I want to, for whatever reason I choose. I own half of your shit. I'm taking it with me. Nah. I go out in public quite often. Matter of fact, I was just out at Billy's last night for the Monday flashback. And, the place was jumping last night. Lots of people. And it was, great to get out and see people interact and converse and socialize with each other, which it's just an awesome night. And I love going out to Billy's. It's a friendly establishment. The people are great. But, just as an observer, looking around at all the couples, all the many men and women who are together and enjoying drinks, listening to music, I can't help but think to myself, especially with these guys, I'm thinking to myself, how much is this woman costing you every week? She's got to be costing you thousands a week. There's this one couple in particular. She likes her drinky drink, and she likes to get feeling good, and she'll start moving her body in ways that any man would find attractive, any straight man would find attractive. And, she's sitting there moving her body, and she's had a few drinks in her, and the old man, he's just trying to keep her under control, like, hey, calm down. He's, kind of patting her on the back and whispering over to her, like, hey, just, relax, calm down a little bit. But you're giving her the booze. You're supplying the magical potion for her. And mixed drinks are not cheap. They're not cheap. And I can't help but think to myself, how much is this woman costing you every week, dude? Every day. She must be costing you a fortune. I know it sounds sexist and it comes off as misogynistic or whatever card that these women want to throw. But it's like, how much money is she costing you every fucking week? Every day of your life? You must be miserable. And then they want to put on this great big smile and pretend that everything's okay. Oh yeah, I'm happy. No, you're fucking not. You're miserable, dude. You're not happy. You can't be happy. You can't be happy. Where's your happiness? How do you get happiness out of breaking your back, bending over backwards to make sure that your partner's happy? What the fuck? What do you gain from that relationship? Get her drunk and have your way with her? I mean, what the fuck? It just does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Nobody's really happy going broke for somebody else. I'm going to tell you that right now. No one's happy going broke for someone else. Even if, I don't give a fuck how much you love this person, you don't want to go broke. You're not gaining anything from this relationship. Why on earth would you find comfort and joy in going broke? Well, I go broke because I love you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I love being single. Love being single. I wish I could stand on the highest skyscraper in downtown Detroit and sing it to the city. I love being single. Because I do. I fucking enjoy being single. That's power. I love being by myself. Most people, they don't know how to handle being alone. You ever notice that? There's people out there who don't know how to, they can't handle being by themselves. They don't know what to do being by themselves. They live in fear of dying alone. To me, that seems like an irrational fear. Because, listen, when you're dead, you're not going to give a fuck. You're not going to know when you're dead. You're not going to have a care in the world. Who cares if you die alone? Who the fuck cares? You're not going to know it when you're dead anyway. So, it's like, wow, how can you have a fear of dying alone? I could see, just sad and being sad and lonely, I mean, if you've lived a life of solitude. But even then, if you've lived a life of solitude, you should be used to being by yourself. And I gotta tell you, with the way most of these women are nowadays, these gold digging types, living alone is probably the best route to go because everything you have is yours. Listen, the single life is awesome. I can't emphasize that enough. The single life is fucking amazing. Everything you own is yours. You're not in debt. You have a more flexible social life. Okay? If you have, this is what I like about having single friends as well, single female friends. It's because if you have that discussion with a single female friend, say, hey, a night of enchantment, you and I get together, shake the bed a little bit, as David Spade said in the movie Grown Ups, we're shaking the bed. Well, you have one night of enchantment, one night of intimacy. No feelings are going to get hurt, no hearts are going to be broken. Because it's no strings attached, it's one friend helping another friend. Each person gets exactly what they want, no harm done. That's kind of what I like about being single too, is because I have lots of single female friends out there, and there's no insecurity, there's no fear. Who are we going to piss off by having sex, by sleeping together for a night or a couple of nights or whatever? Who are you going to make upset? Nobody, because it's just you and your single female friend. You're giving each other what each other need, a friend with benefits, as they call it, FWB. Okay, whatever. There's no insecurity. There's no real problem with sleeping with your friend. It's not going to ruin the friendship. You're going to carry on as if nothing happened. And you're going to say, yeah, okay, we can go out, hang out for lunch or have coffee or whatever. No problem. Not a prob. We'll meet up somewhere at a cafe or a little restaurant or whatever, Not a big deal. We'll hang out. And what goes on behind closed doors is no one's business anyways, right? But the thing that really blows me the fuck away is when you have single... when you're single, like myself, I'm a single male, and I've had conversations with women which never led to sex. We didn't have sex. The minute they get married, you're gone. You're history. Or when they get engaged to a person, they cut off all communication with you. Marriage fucking changes you. Even when you are not perceived as an actual threat, as a legitimate threat, they treat you as though you are. Suddenly there's this new guy who came into their life, and holy motherfucker, you're not allowed to have single male friends anymore. You're not allowed to have a social life. You are not allowed to do anything that makes you happy. You become a slave. I almost feel bad for married people. When it gets that bad, when it comes right down to it, they think that, marriage, happy wife, happy life bullshit. I hear that all the time. Come on, marriage is miserable. I've never been married, but listen, I've watched marriages fall apart at the seams, and some of it is amusing, but not all of it. My parents were married for 20 years. My mom and dad were married for 20 years, and after 20 years, things didn't work out, and it was hard on me. It had taken its toll on me. I was a teenager. I was about 15 when they split up, when they finalized their divorce. I was about 15, 16 at the time, so I was old enough to understand the situation, but at the same time, I'm still a teenager. I would never expect my mom and dad, after all these years, to call it quits on their marriage, because they were in love for so many years. They shared children, they shared grandchildren, now great-grandchildren. I feel really bad that things didn't happen, with my mom and dad, that things couldn't have continued on, that the marriage of 20 years had fallen apart. But it also gave me some insight on marriage, too. I'm not saying that my mom was horrible. I'm not saying that my dad was horrible. They just fell out of love over the years. Things happen. But it did give me some insight on marriage. And as an observer, I'm looking around, observing other people, and these guys, they don't look happy. They can put on the fake fucking smile all they want to. They're not happy. They're miserable. They're thinking to themselves all the time, what the fuck did I get myself into? What did I get myself into? This woman is draining me financially. She is a fucking financial leech. I see this on Facebook all the time. Oh, you need someone who's got lots of money. You're going to marry a guy for his money? How fucking shallow are you? How fucking shallow are you? Like, really? I feel sorry for that guy who comes along and thinks he's getting someone who really and truly loves him, when in fact you're just chasing his money. What the fuck? It's disgusting to me. There is no such thing as real love anymore. There is no such thing. Everybody wants grandpa and grandma's marriage. Well, you know what? This isn't 1945 anymore. It's not 1955. It's 2000, almost 2022. That whole goalpost has shifted. It's not the same as it used to be. The goalpost is not where it used to be. It has shifted. Nobody loves the way they used to back in the olden times. And that's the kind of marriage that most of these younger generation envision. They think that, well, we're going to have the same kind of marriage and the same kind of family that my grandparents had. That's not how it works. Not how it fucking works. The dollars have changed. Times have changed. We're in the age of technology, social media. We let social media now, we let social media dictate who we're with and why we're with them. There is no such thing as real love. Well, let's marry for the money. Well, that's not love. You don't know what love is. And that's probably why, if you're a single woman listening to this, you want to marry for the money. That's why you're single. That's not love. You don't know what love is. Loving someone, you love them unconditionally, thick and thin. You love them no matter what. You can deal with their flaws. You can deal with the fact that, okay, they may not be the richest person in the world, but they treat you good. They treat you good. That's what love is. You stay with them because you love them, the way they treat you, the way they honor and respect you. I'm not saying be a slave to you, because that's what most people are doing now. They are enslaved to one another when they get married. Even in a relationship, you become financially enslaved to your partner. Oh, the single life. Every time I think about it, I want to puke. Because it's like you're throwing away a part of your life. You're throwing away your freedom for what? A piece of ass? Come on. You're throwing that part of your life away. That precious, valuable part of yourself. I'm not saying that men are perfect. There's a lot of sleazebags out there who never treated their women the right way. You know, there's a lot of guys who would beat the fuck out of their wives and girlfriends, and you know, I understand that, and it's wrong. It's wrong. No man should ever put his hands on a woman, period. But at the same time, you have to also consider that, you know, if you've had horrible past relationships, don't drag those past relationships into the now. I had nothing to do with that. Please don't talk about, well, I've been abused. You know, every woman I have ever tried to hook up with, or every single woman I've ever tried to, you know, just want to have a conversation with, I can guarantee you that 95% of the women I've talked to, they've all had horrible past relationships. It's the same thing over and over, and it's like, are there really this many women out there who've been treated like shit from guys? What's the real story behind that? Because it can't all be the same thing. I mean, what are the odds of me finding women who, each and every woman I talk to, somehow they've been treated like shit from these guys? Are there really that many horrible men out there? I don't think there is. I don't think there's this many gold-digging women. That's why I said in the beginning that this isn't a general blanket statement about all women, because it's not. It doesn't apply to all women. But there are specific women out there that I know who have stopped speaking to me because they get married or they get boyfriends or whatever. They forget about me altogether after we've had wonderful, decent conversations. If you're not mature enough to handle a relationship or just being engaged to a person, if you're not mature enough to handle that, how do you think your marriage is going to go? You're just going to discard each and every friend you've ever had of which you've had a decent conversation with? So sex comes up in conversation. Okay, so what? So? Who cares? It's not like you've actually done anything. And even if you had done anything, what's not to say that this guy that you've had sex with, what's not to say that he doesn't wish you luck with your endeavors of your marriage? You're just going to write him off as a threat too? It's really fucking just sickening to me. It's sickening to watch years of friendship get flushed down the fucking tubes because some new person comes along. Oh, it's time to get serious about this family and this marriage and this and that and the other. It's time to get serious, which means that I have to throw away all my fuck buddies. No, you don't. No, you don't. If those people, if those friends had any respect for you, they would respect the fact that you're going to be married or you're in a relationship, and they would refrain from having that kind of conversation with you, talking about, hey, let's meet up and fuck. They would have the respect to not say those things to you. If they know that you are in fact engaged to someone, or if you're in a relationship, they should have enough respect and common courtesy to say, I'm not going to cross that boundary. I see that you're in a relationship with someone, I will respect that. And I would love to keep a platonic friendship. But see, a few of these women didn't give me that option. They didn't give me that option. They hook up, they shack up with these guys. One of them I know for a fact married for the fucking money. They'll never admit to that because that would make them look shallow. Well, that's okay. I can do that for you. You are a shallow fucking cunt who married for money. And that's that. You married for the fucking money. Because you seemingly have written me off. I so much as reach out to you to say hello, and you've got me blocked on Facebook. You don't reply to my text messages. You don't reply to my emails. Go fuck yourself, you money-hungry bitch. That's what I say. You got what you wanted. You married into money, and fuck everybody else who's actually had decent, civilized conversation with you. I think it is a crock of shit. Fuck marriage. I will never get married. I don't care how many people tell me, oh, one day you'll change your mind, the right person will come along. No, motherfucker. No, I am not going to get married. Not now, not tomorrow, never. Marriage is not happening for me. You know, I watch a lot of these videos on YouTube. I guess there's this movement that I was not aware of. I had spoken about this in my Sunday video updates the past couple weeks. It's called Men Going Their Own Way, MGTOW. Now, I'm not a part of that movement. I'm not a part of any of that. But a lot of their ideas actually kind of coincide with how I think and view marriage. I think about marriage. I view marriage and relationships in general. A lot of those ideas and what they say, because they handpick these particular women, especially their TikTok videos. They handpick these particular women who will make themselves look absolutely fucking foolish in front of the whole goddamn world by talking about how they think they know a man. Well, he's not mature enough. No, by mature you mean he's not made of money. He doesn't have stacks of cash in his bank account. You're measuring a man by his wealth rather than who he is as a man. You're measuring him based on his wealth. You determine a measure of a man by how much money they make, which is bullshit. But anyway, there's a lot of these guys with this MGTOW stuff. They will actually hand select certain women who make absolute fools of themselves in front of the whole world, and they will warn guys of these kinds of women. This is what you got to watch for with a woman, because they will fucking manipulate you into getting what they want. They are master manipulators. Okay. Well, thanks for the education. Although I kind of already knew, like I can sense that about a woman. Especially the gold digger types. And, you know, after having said all this, I'm sure there's a burning question that you have, which is, has Jered ever been in love? Have you ever actually been in love with the woman? And the answer to that question is yes, I have. I have, and she's gone forever. She passed away. She's never coming back. And, you know, she was actually someone who loved me for me. She didn't give a fuck about money. She didn't care about luxury. She cared about me. She loved me. She told me that I was the only man in her life. Didn't have to necessarily be about money, and it never was. We never talked about that. Money was never a thing for her. She never chased after a guy with money. And I told her before, I said, you can have any man you want. I said, but why me? She says, well, because you and I have been through similar situations, and she was referring to childhood cancer. She was a Wilms survivor like I am, and she passed away last year. I miss our phone calls. I miss our phone conversations. I miss getting text messages from her. I miss it. I miss her terribly. Think about her all the time. And I guess that kind of also put into perspective a little bit how I view relationships and marriage, because that'll never, for me, that'll never happen again. I will never find a woman who will love me just for being me. I will never find that ever again. Most of these women nowadays, it's a lost cause nowadays. I think women who really and truly love you for you, like the woman I'm talking about, they are few and far between, and they are very rare. And I thought I had a great thing going with this woman. She loved me for me. We did break up, and it wasn't a knockdown, drag out, bloody knuckle fight kind of a breakup. It was a mutual agreement. We both agreed that, we can remain friends. I don't have a problem with that. But I think the reason for that is because she knew that her health was deteriorating and she didn't have much longer to live. And I kind of suspected that myself because she had breathing issues. And, there's a lot of history behind her health. Of course, I was very well aware of that history. And there's not a day go by that I don't think about her. There's never going to be another woman like her. Never. Never. When we first met, it was on Facebook, and we were in this Wilms Tumor group on Facebook, and boy, we met each other, we hit it off, we became friends, we exchanged phone numbers, and I asked her, you want to go steady? You want to try a relationship? And she says, yeah, I'd love to. And so it was nice for a while. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed having someone to call my own, and that doesn't happen now. She's gone forever. There's never going to be another woman like her. She was just an amazing person inside and out. She loved me for me. She wasn't concerned with luxury and money and all that shit. This superficial, nonsense that means nothing at all, because you're not going to take it with you when you die. So that's why money, and she was one of the most realist women I've ever had in my life, and now she's gone forever. And so after having said that, you could probably easily draw the conclusion that I've become bitter about love and relationships. I'm really not bitter. I'm upset by the way women of today's modern day world, modern day society. I am upset by the way women use men to catapult themselves into a better lifestyle. They live a life of luxury. They don't truly love a man for who and what he is as an individual. That's the shit that irritates me more than anything about a lot of these women. And that's why, partly the reason why, I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to get married. Never. I'm not even interested in getting into a relationship at this point. There are too many women out there who are, they chase the money. They chase after guys with money, good looks. It's never about a personality anymore. Not so much a personality as it is the money. Every once in a while you might find a woman who falls in love with this guy who's got a wonderful personality, he's got a great smile, he's got a perfect physique or way about himself, and women go for that kind of shit too, but I just don't fucking care about relationships, and marriage is the one thing that I'm never going to do. I'm never going to get married. And it's, if women knew how to treat men better, instead of calling them immature and taking cheap shots at their masculinity because they're not going to fucking wine and dine you at the drop of a hat, because you whine for something, therefore you get it. Well, no. Sorry. For centuries, women have been bitching for equality. They want to do what men can do. Okay, now in 2021, you can do what men can do other than take a piss standing up. You can go out there and support yourself. You can make a living. You can be independent. So why the fuck do you need a man? You are perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. You want to do what men can do? Okay. You can vote, you can work, you can go to, join the military, you can do all that shit. We'll put a fucking gun in your hand, sure. You want to join the military? Go for it. La-dee-da, honey. Knock yourself out. Why the fuck do you still need to depend on a man? You know what you depend on a man for? Children. That's what you depend on a man for. Or if you want to adopt, I mean, these children got to come from somewhere. They're not passing through this secretive membrane in the galaxy. These children got to come from somewhere. We all come from something. If you want children, if you want to have natural children or artificial insemination, but even still, you got to have a man. It's got to, take a man's love juice. But you know what I mean. I don't understand women of 2021, especially now. They marry for the money. I want a man who can work. What does working have to do with love? What do you care what a man does? What do you care if a man has a job or if he gets Social Security or SSI or whatever? What do you care what his source of income is? He's not asking you for a fucking thing. But that's how I see it, guys. Just my opinions. But anyway, I guess I'll wrap it. I haven't done a daily rant in quite a long time. It actually felt good to come on here and just kind of rant and talk about things for a while. And, I just wish things were different. I wish things were different, like women that I've spoken with for years, and we've had wonderful casual conversations about basically anything and everything under the sun, and now all of a sudden they write me off because they got married. I mean, what kind of fucking bullshit is that? What kind of fucking bullshit is that? I hope this guy that you married him for the money, I hope he takes every fucking thing away from you. I mean that sincerely. I hope he fucking takes everything from you. You married him for the money, I hope it all backfires on you. You good-for-nothing sleaze. I hope that you end up with nothing. I hope that marriage fucking falls apart. You good-for-nothing cunt. I hope the marriage falls apart. I hope you end up with nothing. Go back to living with mommy and daddy, because the old man ain't going to take care of you no more. The old man's going to get sick of your shit. And how fucking dare you write off a relationship or even a friendship with someone that you've had decent conversation with for all these years, and you're just going to suddenly write them off because you got someone in your life? Fuck you. You know what? You can take your marriage and choke on it. You can shove it straight up your ever-loving fucking patty white ass. So, that's my rant for today, guys. Thanks so much for stopping in and indulging me for almost 40 minutes. My name is Jered Bear Fuller. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. So until then, toodaloo!